So we're going to start today's practice by taking your feet underneath you and sitting back on your heels. So both knees are together, both feet are together, big toes are touching, and you're sitting back on your heels if that's available to you. And then from here, we're going to take our knees out wider. So big toes stay touching, but our knees come out in this kind of V shape. And then we're going to press down through our sit bones, lengthen up through the top of the head as we inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward and bring our forehead to the floor. Shoulders are relaxed. Forehead is touching the floor. And we're just staying with the breath here, breathing into the back body, breathing into the lower back, into the kidneys, into the adrenals, breathing, releasing any tension, any tightness from those areas. Full, deep, expansive breath. Allowing the breath to fill you up. Breathing as if you're breathing into the lower back. Shoulders are relaxed, forehead, head is relaxed, hands are relaxed, deep belly breathing, allowing that breath to expand, breathing as if you're breathing into that lower back. Releasing any stress, any tension, any holding. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Slow, deep, mindful breath. Really allowing the whole body to relax down now. Few more breaths here. Just allowing yourself to fully release right now. No holding. No tightness, just breath, breathing, releasing, letting go. If you notice any tightness, any tension, breathe into that area. Allow spaciousness to arise there. One more breath here. And then on your next inhalation, pressing into the mat with your hands. And then walking your hands back towards you. So you come to sit back on your heels. Take the knees together, toes are touching. Again, and we're going to lean forward on our hands here and tuck our toes under. Now, this can be quite an intense stretch for some people, so be careful as you're coming into it. For some people, it's no problem at all, and for some people, there can be a lot of tension there, so you have to listen to your body. So if it feels like there's a lot of tension, a lot of tightness, then you can stay here, or you can even come more off. But if it feels okay to you, Then you can start to walk your hands back. If at any stage that this doesn't feel okay, feels too much, just come back onto your hands. But if it's okay for you to stay here for a while and just breathe into the soles of the feet, then do that. Allow any tension, any tightness there, any stress there to be released. Using the breath to open up the body. Using the breath to disperse the energy. Allowing the shoulders to soften and relax, to drop away from the ears. And while you're here, you can also start to make circles with your wrists. So take your hands into fists and make circles. First one direction and then the other. You can also start to flick your hands open, releasing any stress, any tightness in the hands. But just staying with the breath. And then releasing your hands down onto your legs once more, and a few more breaths here, breathing into the feet if it's available to you. If it's too much, you can come off. A few more breaths. And slowly walking your hands forward, untucking your toes, and sitting back on your heels just for a moment. And we're going to walk our hands forward and then just tap our feet out. Tap the tops of the feet off the floor. And we can sit back on them again. And if you're doing this without a mat, then you're not going to do the next part, okay? So, because the floor will be too hard underneath your ankles, your feet. But if you have a mat and it feels okay for you, then what you can do is you can take your hands slightly behind and just start to lift up your knees. Now, this can be a very intense stretch for some people. So if it feels too much already, then you can just lower down and come back to be seated. But if it feels okay, then you can lift your knees off the floor. You're not sinking down into your back. It's a nice tall spine. And you're just breathing into the ankles, the tendons, the tissues there, just really getting deep into the ankles. Breathing there. Allowing any stress, any tension in the ankles to be released, in the tendons and the tissues, in the joints there. Just a few breaths here. And then releasing back down. And again, we're going to lean forward, tap the tops of the feet out. And then we're going to step back so that our wrists are stacked under our shoulders and our hips are stacked over our knees. Fingers are spread wide, hands are pressing into the mat. Tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Gaze is down in between the hands. And here we're going to inhale as we drop the belly. Gaze comes up, chin comes up. And then exhale as you round the back. Pressing up between the shoulder blades. Inhaling, drop the belly, chin comes up. Exhaling, round the back, press up between the shoulder blades. Just continue like this. You can exhale through the mouth if you like for a deeper release. Moving with the breath, slow, steady movement. One more time. Inhaling, chin comes up. Exhaling, chin towards chest. And then from here, we're going to come back to center and then sit back on our heels again. Taking our knees together again. We're going to take our elbows, bend our arms at the elbows. And here we're going to take our right elbow and cross it on top of our left. And then we're going to wrap our hands around each other. So I'll show you that from a different angle as well. So elbows are bent. We're going to take the right elbow and place it over the left. And then we just wrap our hands around each other. So my left fingers, my right fingers are pointing straight up to the ceiling, and my left fingers are pressed into the palm of my right hand. And here we're going to inhale through the nose as we lift the elbows up. Exhale through the mouth as you draw chin and elbows towards chest. Moving like this, inhaling through the nose up, exhaling through the mouth down. Breathing, releasing any tension or tightness in the shoulders. Moving with the breath, dynamic movement. One more breath like this, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. So we're going to release the arms and then repeat on the opposite side. So elbows bent. This time left elbow crosses over right, and then we wrap the hands around each other. So this time left fingers are pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and right fingers are pressing into the palm of the left hand. Inhaling here as you draw the elbows up. Exhaling as you draw chin and elbows to chest. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling out the mouth. Continuing like this. Allowing any tension, any tightness in the shoulders to release. One more time, inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling out the mouth. Coming back to center, releasing the arms. Just taking a breath here. And now we're going to come into hero's pose. So you can just take your feet slightly wider so the knees stay together, and then sit down between your heels. Now this might not be available to everybody. So if that's the case, if your buttocks does not touch off the floor, off the mat, then if you have a cushion available, then you can use that. But if you do not have a cushion or anything like that available, then you should not stay in this pose. So you can just come back to being seated with one foot in front of the other. But for those of you who can do this or have a block or a cushion available, then we're going to press down through the sit bones and lengthen up through the crown of the head. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and just breathe here as we open up through the thighs. So here, heels are pressed into the side of the thighs, knees are together, toes are pointing straight back. You're not sitting on the feet, you're sitting in between the feet. Hands are resting on the legs, tall spine, rooting down through the sit bones, lengthening up through the crown, through the top of the head. And just feeling that breath as it moves through you. Opening up through the body. Opening up through the thighs. Few more breaths here. One last one. And then if you were sitting with if you were able to do this position, then if you were using a block or a cushion, you remove that and then lift up and come to sit back on your feet just for a moment. And then take them out to the side, extend your feet forward and just shake them out. Maybe you were not used to sitting in these positions, so it's good to just move that energy, shake them out. And then from here, I'm going to bend the left knee, take the left heel towards the right buttock, it's pressing against the right butt cheek. And then take the right leg and cross it over the left. So we're taking the heels to the opposite thighs. The knees are stacked over each other. Left is on the bottom, right is on top. And here we're just going to breathe here for a few breaths, pressing down through the sit bones, lengthening up through the top of the head. Opening up through the glutes, through the muscles of the buttocks. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath like this. And then if it's available to you, we're going to inhale our left arm overhead and then drop it down our back. I'll turn this way. And then take our right arm and bring it up from underneath. So then we can interlace our fingers here behind our back. So we don't want this elbow pointing down. We want to draw it back, opening up through the chest, left elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. If this is not available to you, then there's a variation that you can do instead, which is left arm overhead, just like before, open hand on the center of the back. But then this time, instead of taking your right arm underneath and hooking the fingers, you'll instead take this arm overhead and hold the elbow. So it'll look like this. And then you'll open up in this way instead. So it's perfectly acceptable to do this instead, if this is your preference. So we'll go back to the original one. And you can do whichever one you prefer, whichever one suits your body better. We'll stay here for a few breaths on this side. One more breath here. And then exhale, release your arms down, untangle your legs, and we're going to repeat on the opposite side. So this time, the right knee is on the bottom, the right heel is pressing into the left thigh, and the left heel is crossed over on top, left leg is crossed over on top, left heel pressing against right thigh, and knees are stacked over each other, right on the bottom, left on top. Press down into the surface on which you're seated and rise up from there, tall spine, relaxed shoulders, feeling the breath, experiencing the breath as it moves through you. And we're going to repeat like before. So this time we'll inhale our right arm up and over. And you can do either variation. You can take your left hand behind and interlace the fingers, or you can reach your hand over and take the elbow of your right hand into your left hand. So you're holding your right elbow with your other hand. So either is fine. Breathing here. Drawing the elbow back, the upper elbow back. Open through the chest. One more breath here. And release your hands. Release your legs. You can shake them out again if you feel to. And then slowly coming to sit on your cushion again. If you have one, you can stay sitting on the floor, it's no problem. And then we're just going to close the eyes and take our attention back to the inhalation and the exhalation, breathing in and out through the nose. And this time as we inhale through the nose, we're going to silently say so. And as we exhale through the nose, we're going to silently say hum. Inhaling, so. Exhaling, hum. Inhaling through the nose as you silently say to yourself, so. Exhaling through the nose as you silently say to yourself, hum. Inhaling, so. Exhaling, hum. Continue like this, silently repeating those sounds to yourself. As you inhale through the nose, you'll silently say so. And as you exhale through the nose, you'll silently say hum. Continue at your own pace. Inhaling so. As you inhale through the nose. Exhaling hum as you exhale through the nose. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Just continuing at your own pace. If any thoughts arise, just coming back to the breath and the sound. Allowing the sound to take you deeper and deeper into yourself. Calming the mind, soothing the nervous system, relaxing the body, allowing you to drop deeper into yourself. Allowing the breath to be your doorway into a deeper part of yourself, to experience more of yourself. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. At the end of this round, letting go of the sounds and just staying with the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose.